Welcome everyone. This is the In FPL show. We are back. I am JB and I'm joined by my two partners in crime as ever. First up, we got the man just raced off the London Underground on the tube to come home to give you the best advice. It's Doyle. How are you, Doyle?
Yeah, good. Yeah, rushing around, but here we are. Excited.
Made it for the All In faithful.
Oh yeah, can't miss the game week one results, despite
And
being bottom again. It looks like, but it's a
standard.
long season.
We'll get to that shortly. Did you have a good weekend? Did you get up to anything Saturday? Anything,
Watched football. I was at the Everton game, so travelled
How
up
was
in the
it?
morning. Travelled up in the morning, watched us absolutely batter Fulham for 90 minutes and lose 1-0. So pretty similar to last season, really deja vu. And then managed to go on the train back with all the Fulham fans chanting in my ear the entire way. Andreas Pereira was actually on the train as well. And then when I got off, all the Fulham fans were like thronging around him. It was very amusing to watch, but yeah, a bit miserable as an Everton fan. Had my headphones on, tried to sleep. Yeah,
I've had that same experience with the Fulham players. A lot of the Fulham players get the train to and from games. I had the same from Birmingham when they beat Birmingham in the Championship 1-0. And a few of the players were on there and the fans were on there and they were like proper like chasing the players around the train. So it must be a pretty common thing. I think that the players get the train, like, or some of them do at least. So yeah.
No wonder Mitrovic wants to leave and get his private jet to Saudi then.
but no, it's a good weekend. I enjoyed the football being back. Watched the games on Sunday as well on the pub. It's nice. Watched a lot of football this weekend. I loved it.
Good matches as well, wasn't it? Really, really good.
Yeah,
TV ones. Yeah, Shane Mope couldn't finish. I noticed he missed about 7 sitters, but still.
yeah, and dodgy refereeing decisions, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, should have been a goal. Anyway, we'll get onto this later. Also, obviously, we are joined by the money man. He is still a multi-millionaire. Joshua Aldridge. How are you, Josh?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Just pleased for the football to be back. Like we said, it was some really, really good games on TV. So even though I went to see Missed Outfire on Friday night and missed the game, I avoided the score and I got home and I watched the whole game and then saw all the other games. So that was great.
Bloody hell, mate.
That's
So,
how
was you watching that like till like 4 a.m. or something? Like,
it was the missus' birthday, so I had to go out for that. But yeah, I got back about 11:30 and I watched it. But I was excited. It was the beginning of the season, so yeah.
nice.
Better than
Yeah,
missing out on.
I do get it, to be fair. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Like the Community Shield doesn't do it for me. So yeah, I think having the Premier League back was good. And obviously Captain Fantastic was on first up, wasn't he?
He sure was. We'll get through all the games shortly. But Doyle, do you want to give us a rundown of what to expect in this show?
Okay, well, I've not really been on top of it because I've been at work all day, but I can have a guess. I guess we're gonna start with running through our teams points so far this week. Follow that up with a bit of fire and ice. Look at who the hot players are, who we think's fire, and who, after their first week's performance, we think are the ice candidates who we want to chuck soon. We're then going to move on to hot topic. We're going to look at the moves from week one, what's changing, what's happening, anything we think needs to be done in your teams, and then we'll go through our own teams. I think finish it off within the hour this week. We promise.
That was really good, actually. You included everything. Well done.
I mean, we did do it like 20 times last season, so it's it should be ingrained by now. Should we start with the teams then? The game week review.
Yeah, and I guess we'll start bottom. Should we start at the bottom to top as we normally do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
let's
subject
do
to
it.
change though, because we are
It's
recording this on
very-
Monday.
Yeah,
I'll put myself on mute. Give me a second.
It's very much subject to change. Josh does have Bruno as well, but basically we're recording before United. So JB will be bottom, but for now, I'll run through my team with 61 points, which is fine. It's sort of middle of the pack sort of thing. Should have been a lot better. Johnston in goal, the nice clean sheets. Then Tarkovsky, Saliba, and James. Just one assist among them, which is Saliba. Stupidly didn't play Anderson, who got his 9-point haul, but we move on. He actually also very nearly assisted a goal. He got ruled out for offside, but it could have been an absolute ball on the bench, which would have been a miserable start. Then got Foden, who was a sort of last second plug in, and he actually looked really, really good. But didn't get the return. Did he play 90? I think he played 90, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So that felt a bit unfortunate. Matoma got his return, looked good. Salah, again, could have been a haul, just a 5-pointer in the end. Pedro got his goal from the penalty, and Haaland did the business. I was just let down by I didn't have the two high-owned guys who just get given points for no reason. Estupinian and Saka. Just seems like
Yeah, so we've got to remember this could have been a lot worse because on the podcast last week you said you weren't going to go with Haaland.
Yeah, what happened there?
So we need to address that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go. I ended up with him because when Harry Kane left, I just couldn't figure out how to spend the money in a way that was sensible. To be honest, I just had to change the approach. I just couldn't make it work. I'd have ended up having to get players like Trent in, who I really didn't want, just to spend the money, or end up with loads of money on the bench. It just didn't make any sense because Haaland just projects so well from a raw points perspective that it felt fine. And then particularly when the fact we got the lineup as well helped because it meant you can sort of double it up and try and attack it a bit differently that way at least. But yeah, not super happy myself, but it's all worked out.
I can tell you don't use FPL review because you captained Haaland and you don't have Saka. So I think they projected him for Saka to beat Haaland this week, I believe. I haven't seen the numbers, but that's what I think happened. So you're clearly not a user of that based on just looking at your team alone, I think.
No, and that's an outrageous projection, by the way. Obviously, Saka scores a screamer from 30 yards. Yeah, well done, everyone. Well done, owners. But he's not going to do that every week. He did look quite good actually during the game. To be fair to him, he wasn't as wide as he was for a lot of last season. But yeah, still a bit frustrating that he sort of scored that screamer and got the 3 bonus points, and then Estupinian also got that last second assist, which turned into a 6-point assist out of nowhere, which was pretty stupid. But,
yeah,
I think Haaland could have been a lot more points as well, not from actions within the game, but the fact that he had 2 goals very early on.
Yeah,
it could have been an absolute monstrous season. I don't know if season ending is quite the right word, but it could have been very, very detrimental for someone who went without after 90 minutes of the game week starting after one game. You know what I mean? It could have been really, really atrocious. So yeah, I feel like they half got away with that as well.
Yeah, I was very happy. I owned him when I saw that. Was it 13 minutes he scored or something like that? I saw that goal notification come through. I was like, thank fuck for that.
About 4 or 5, right? It was really early, wasn't it? Wasn't it 4 or 5 minutes?
I don't know.
3 minutes and 4
seconds. It was really early. I was it was like, welcome to the new season. Don't go against the template fuckers.
It weren't even like a celebration when the goal went in for me. It was more like thank God I've put him in, captained him. It's more relief that you ain't tried to go against him, isn't it?
It literally feels like these guys have plot armor or something. I don't get it. If they're owned by more than 50%, they have to return. It's just it's impossible not to. It's just unreal.
We've had the experience in the NFL, haven't we, Doyle, with chalky ownership in the last year. So we're sort of hoping it doesn't happen again here.
Anyway, we're going long and we're only through the first team of the 3. So someone please take over. I think it's Josh next for now.
Yeah, it's me for now.
But analyse Doyle's team, though, isn't it? That's always fun.
Yeah.
We spend the most time. That's where we get our content from, isn't it? Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm on 69. JB's on 70, but I've got Bruno to play extra, so I'm definitely going to go ahead of him. That's just obvious. So I think I might be double digits ahead.
Bruno red card incoming then.
Yeah, penalty miss.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Anyway, that'll be funny for next week when you clip this. But yeah, so starting at the back, Pickford in goal, rubbish. Then I had the assist machines across the back. Chilwell, Saliba, Estupiñán, 1 assist each, no cleans between them. I was very happy with that. I think that was quite fortunate. A few of those returns. So yeah, although Chilwell
could have gotten 4 returns. He was outrageous. I can't believe I went Reece James over him. I feel like an absolute moron.
I meant Saliba and Estupiñán. I think they were quite lucky, to be fair. But Chilwell was absolutely exceptional, and I'm really happy to have him. So yeah, that's really good. Maddison did the business. 2 assists. Again, could have been more. He was absolutely magnificent. Everything went through him yesterday. Saka 10 points was
pretty lucky assist though. He was all right, but he was pretty lucky to get 2 assists. One was a set piece, and one was it literally bounced off his leg into the path of the. Can't remember who it was who scored now, but
yeah,
Emerson Royal was it?
Yeah, Emerson. Yeah. Yeah, 9 pointer. He got 2 baps. He did get booked. I had quite a lot of bookings actually. I think Estupinan got booked, Maddison got booked, Jackson got booked. So yeah, there was quite a few yellow cards dotting around.
That might be to be expected with the new rules as well, though, for time wasting, things like that. Refs are a little bit more card happy, ain't they, the first few weeks?
Yeah. I saw Trent got booked
Basically,
on. Yeah,
Don't have gobby little shits like Maddison in your team, so you're gonna get booked every game.
Yeah, I mean, you take the return every week if it comes with a yellow card. I think just about, but yeah, it's one of those. I'm trying to do this quick, by the way, and yeah, it's never going to happen. I don't think so. Yeah, Saka got 10 points as discussed. Was an absolute corker of a goal. Looked pretty good. So that's fine. I think very high ownership. Richarlison blanked 2 points. That was good, and I really thought I had a big not differential, but a lower own player there that was really, really good. But he blanked this week. Jackson 1 point looked very lively.
He went off at 4%.
Who?
Richarlison was 4% owned.
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
Wow. That one really hurt. Yeah, really, really hurt. Jackson got a 1 pointer. He was quite low owned as well, 16% to be fair. And then Haaland did the business. Yeah. The only other things I want to say are I've got Reece James first sub. I'm really happy to have him still.
That was a good call. That.
Yeah.
I noticed you had him on the bench there. That was a nice 50-50 flip.
Yeah. I'll win the flips. I'm good at the flips. It's not bad. And then the only other thing worth saying is all 15 of my squad started this weekend, which I'm really happy with. That's good for the future, I think. So yeah, I didn't expect Osula to start, so that was a bit of a bonus.
He looked good as well. He looked quite good. He had a couple of shots.
Yeah. I think someone said he had a goal disallowed or something, or he was looking lively anyway. So yeah.
Especially after me and you talked him up in our team reveal video, me and you was all over it, weren't we, Osula?
Yeah. So the only things I changed from last week were I bought in Richarlison for Havertz as soon as Kane left. I really wanted Richarlison, so any excuse. And Kane leaving's a pretty good excuse. So I bought in Richarlison for Havertz, didn't want Havertz, so he looked crap. So I'm glad I didn't have him. And then I used that money to upgrade the first sub from Tarkowski, who's shit, to Reece James. So I think I'm well set for week 3 when Chelsea play Luton. JB, over to you.
Yeah, I won't spend too much time because obviously you've covered most of the players anyway, one way or another. But it's a fine week for me. Still got Rashford tonight. I don't have Bruno and Shaw, so they're probably the only 2 players that could hurt me. But yeah, covered Estupinan and Chilwell going forward. They were really good. I still think James, a lot of people was like, oh, well, Chilwell was fantastic. James is rubbish. But James was really good. He was getting forward a lot. His points will definitely come. So I think if you do own James, stick with him. Much better days ahead for him. He looked really good as a prospect, I think. So I wouldn't be too concerned with him. Obviously, Gabriel's a problem. He didn't play, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in. Arsenal got an injury to Timber that we'll probably cover shortly. So he's okay. Sven Botman got an assist. What a guy. Quite pleased with that because he was my bench fodder because he come in for Gvardiol, who didn't start for Man City. So that was a late change I made. I put in Richarlison after the Kane news, and then Gvardiol came in as well. But yeah, pretty much same as everyone else, really. We've covered everyone else. Matt Turner played for Nottingham Forest. He's on the bench, so it looks like he's a £4 million playing goalkeeper for now until we need that window to shut so that they don't sign another goalie. But he could be one for the bench. Yeah, apart from that, that's it, really.
How have you got 2 4.5 strikers and not Osula? What's happened there?
I know. I should have gone with it. I was actually just kidding earlier when I said me and you was talking up Osula because it was your pick.
I know, but you ignored it. That's what I'm upset about.
I know. I went with Archer. It was Doyle getting him.
To go with Mbama. I mean, what's going on there? He's never going to play.
I know. Bad news.
I really needed someone to look over my team before the deadline because I somehow ended up with Dubravka over Turner, which just shows how crap I actually am at this game. So that's abysmal.
We've got another one here. JB was clearly in the theatre by the time the Saliba news dropped with the Gabriel thing because you could have had a free one there as well.
Do you know what? We went Hawksmoor for a nice steak meal before, and she'd already been complaining because I'd been checking for from 6 o'clock to 6:30, And it got to about 6:20, and I was like, nothing's going to happen now. The team losers kind of broke, like the leaks and stuff. And then I literally just saw it, and I was like, I can't even be doing this with like 3 minutes to go. I'm sitting there. The Wi-Fi was dodgy because it's all sort of underground anyway. She was staring me. It was her birthday, so I left him in. I didn't know whether it's true or not. I didn't know what was going on at that time, and I had my souffle on the table as well. So
you're going to lose. You're going to lose the entirety of FPL by 4 points this season. And it's because you couldn't.
I know.
The souffle was staring at you.
Why get the dessert?
There'll be memes of him with like a steak or a souffle or something when someone beats him in the mini league by 4 points. Yeah.
Right, please no. Right. Anyway, with that, shall we move on?
Yeah, what we do next? Fire and Ice, nice and quick one, yeah.
It is, yeah. Let's move on to Fire and Ice, and Josh, take it away.
The first one, let's do Richarlison. He got mentioned first earlier. What would you be doing with him, guys? I think most of us have him. Maybe do we all have him? No, Doyle. What, Doyle? Have you not got him?
I know.
He's not president of a fan club.
What on earth is going on? That doesn't sit right with me. So, what would we be? What should we be doing with him then? Do you think? Obviously, he blanked first week. Do you think we should be keeping, buying? What do you think?
I'd be looking to buy him after game week 2. He's got United next. Then he's got a couple of really good fixtures. Right, he's got Bournemouth and Burnley, both away, and then Sheffield at home. Like,
you've got a nice Foden spot, haven't you?
Yeah, you just hope that they don't sign anyone. Obviously, I think it's quite nice. It's actually quite a nice position to be able to like buy going into game week 3. Give it another week, see what they're doing in the transfer market.
Yeah, I think as an owner already, he didn't have the best game. I think all the forwards were really starved of service. Son, Kulu, Richarlison. I think Maddison was pulling the strings in midfield, but they just couldn't link the midfield to attack. Brentford did sit very deep as well, which I don't think really helped. Obviously, like he couldn't get in behind the defenders or anything. I think it's just one of those games. I think if you own him, keep him. Don't think you need to sell him immediately because definitely he's going to return in the future. They have been linked with Lukaku. I wouldn't worry too much about that at the moment. And Richarlison can still play out wide as well if he needs to. So even if they did sign him, I don't think it's an absolute disaster. But yeah,
it doesn't sound like a player for the Spurs manager. What's his name? Postecoglou, whatever his name is.
Call him Ange.
Yeah, Ange. Rom doesn't strike me as his sort of striker. He likes resting guys, doesn't he? So I can't. I think it's just false rumours that they just made up off the back of Kane leaving. To be honest with
you. Yeah,
I think Richarlison would play over Lukaku anyway. To be honest, I think Lukaku would be sub striker for this team. Like, I think Richarlison's just better. To be honest, but yeah.
So we've got Fire and Ice. What's the one in the middle? If we think just hold, have we got something like that? Lukewarm.
Wood. Such a terrible suggestion, but
yeah, it does work. All right, lukewarm on Richarlison at the moment. I think he's okay. Keep him if you got him.
Doyle.
Yeah, same.
He's obviously fire, so I don't understand what you're saying. He's an out of position striker who's classed as a midfielder. I'm not buying it. I think if they don't sign anyone, he's just going to play every game, right? Like they've got no one else.
Have we got Maddison on fire? Just coming up in a minute.
Go on. We'll talk about Maddison now. So what a transition that is. So I've got Maddison. You got Maddison, JB?
No, I really did want him. I just couldn't squeeze him in the end.
Yeah,
I think the double up's really good there. Like they look like they tried a few times Maddison to play Richarlison in 1-on-1. I think I was saying this. I think like Maddison works better without Kane. Weirdly, I think because he wants to be, that Cam playing the strikers in behind, and Kane would sort of drop deep if he was there. So I think it actually works out well for Maddison this and for Richarlison as well. So I think the double up is pretty good. Wasn't completely convinced by Spurs, to be honest with you, but
yeah, I agree with you. I'll certainly be keeping my double up that I've got in my midfield. Madison and Richarlison. I think they're both absolutely brilliant picks. So
yeah, I think the takeaway from the weekend for me personally was Maddison, how good he was. I already liked him from Leicester. His assists and goals were superb last season. I think it's only going to be better at Tottenham, if anything. And I mean, that's a hard thing to do from last season. But yeah, I'd be looking to buy him. Don't think I'd necessarily want to be selling Richarlison for Maddison straight away. You need a little bit of extra money, but I'd still be holding, but I would like to be looking at possibly getting Maddison at some point.
The midfield's super saturated, which makes it really interesting. I think there's a ton of guys you just wouldn't sell that you've got. So like some people might have 5 of those already. So it's like you have to sort of wait for someone to dip or someone to get an injury or someone to have bad fixtures for you to want to pounce on these. But Doyle was right. I think game week 3 is a really nice entry point if you can get to it there. And yeah, Maddison's fire for me. I don't think there's even a question really.
Yeah.
Let's do someone who we're not sure about what happened at the weekend. Gabriel. Let's talk about that. A lot of people are going to have that similar to you, JB. Doyle, what do you think about that spot? Do you think he plays next week or?
Probably because Timber got injured, didn't he?
Yep.
I guess he slots in there, right? Slots in at left back, Saliba. Well, not left back, sorry, centre back with Saliba.
I think so. I think you've hit the nail on the head, yeah. I think White goes to right back and they find a left back. I think someone plays left back, whether it be Tomiyasu or don't know if Tierney's leaving, but once Zinchenko's fit, he'll play left back anyway. So it'll just be back to last season, won't it? Now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Was that Gabriel?
Yeah, we're talking about Gabriel, mate. What do you think about your troublesome centre half?
Sorry, I'm dying of man flu here, so I'm coughing a lot and my voice is a bit croaky. But yeah, because Partey was right back and Timber was left back, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you had White and Saliba centre backs. So my worry is just in case they play Partey right back still, does Zinchenko just slot in at left back and he carries on with White and Saliba as the partnership? I can't see it personally because they played almost every game last season with Gabriel and Saliba. But
yeah, I think this was a way to get Timber in the team because I think they really rate him, because he is really good. But now that he's gone, I think you just have to try and find a way to get your 4 best defenders on the pitch, right? And I think that does involve putting White back out to right back, I think so.
Yeah, I can't see Partey staying right back, can you?
No, it was quite team dependent. I think they thought they were going to batter these, so they just wanted an extra attacking player with the 2 CDMs still on the pitch, basically. So, yeah, in possession, he obviously came a bit further forward, and then they had the 5 attackers on. I was really surprised Nketiah started, but yeah, not sure whether Palace away demands the same sort of setup or whether they just go back to like 4-2-3-1, which is what they've played all the last season. So. Will be an interesting one away at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, agreed.
I wouldn't sell him if I had him. I'd give him another run out. I think some people will be able to bench him this week as well because I'm benching. No surprises actually, but yeah, I think some people might be able to get away with benching him this week with some of the fixtures that are happening. So yeah, even if you're doing that, that seems like not a sell to me.
We'll talk about it later, I guess, in your team. But probably wouldn't be benching an Arsenal player against Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
Palace are really good, mate. I think they're
not
so good.
They're not. They're shit. They're actual shit.
Sheffield
United is really, really, really bad.
I do agree with that, but I think that since Roy's taken over, they have been really, really good.
Palace are like a top 6 defence in the league. They're really good. They're so good.
I don't know if they are anymore. We'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the Palace double up in defence as well. So you must have seen something you like.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is true. But I do think they're crap.
Yeah, they're not so good going forward. They've got terrible strikers and Zaha's left, so it's not amazing to think about. But defensively, I think they're really good.
Yeah, I think they're still fine defensively. That's what I mean. I think they're better than average defensively still, but attacking wise, I think they've got no good players. So.
And I don't know how we got onto this, but swinging it back to Gabriel, another lukewarm for me. I think keep him. He could go back to hot. Just see how it goes. I think hopefully he should be back in the team this week.
Yeah, I think he's pretty close. I'd go fire just about because I think I'd keep him. You obviously wouldn't sign him at this point. Saliba's just way better, right? He's just more nailed now. I think that's become evident. So yeah, which is what I said last week, by the way.
Next.
Can we do Jackson from Chelsea? Because I'm really excited about him, actually.
Let's do it.
He obviously got a yellow card and didn't score a goal, but he was damn close a few times, wasn't he, again? So I think, did you watch the game, JB?
I did indeed, yes. Yeah, really good. Looks like probably we're going to win the league, so that's another bonus that, we should romp it. Look really, really good. Back to old self. Chelsea are back. Hello, hello. But yeah, Nicholas Jackson looked really good. He's quite a direct player as well. He's not sort of like, he's going to hold the ball up and stuff. He looks like a real goal scorer. He'll get the ball. He'll be looking for the corner of the goal. He looked good in pre-season as well, and I liked what I saw at the weekend. Ain't really got any other options up there for someone who can play, unless we're going to play sort of like a false nine at the moment with Nkunku injured. So 7 million up front. I like it, yeah.
Who would you even put in the false nine? You haven't got any players fit?
It's be like
that subs bench was so funny yesterday. New 2 players on it.
Who's going false nine? Enzo Fernandez? What are we doing here?
Mudryk false now.
It'd be Sterling, wouldn't it? Sterling played there for City a few times and stuff, but I don't think that's the way that Poch would ever set his team up anywhere with a false nine like that. I think he was obviously at Tottenham with Harry Kane. So,
what do you think about the 5 at the back? Because Chilwell's another one of my fire and ice players, but I think it's kind of obvious where we're going to go with that one. So, do you think the 5 at the back stays? And obviously Jackson's way better with the 5 at the back, I think, right? And so is both the fullbacks. So, yeah,
weird one. Really weird because we haven't seen that much in pre-season, and the general thought was that he'd go with 4. I don't know whether now we've signed Caicedo and maybe Lavia that he's going to shake things up in midfield, and it might be a 4-3-3. But again, it might just be because we was playing Liverpool, because obviously we can go into a back 5, and then you've got James tucking in or Chilwell tucking in, depending on what side of the pitch the ball is. And when you've got Jota, Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, I mean, it's a pretty intimidating strike force. So you can imagine that his tactics are going to kind of accommodate the fact that Liverpool have got a massive threat in their attack. So again, I don't think anybody knows at this point whether we are or not, but we did look good with it. So he might persist with it. Who knows?
Can't see it, right? Because if you sign Caicedo and Lavia, you've got those 2 plus Enzo, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it definitely just the personnel he's got available for that game. I think he's just played the team, the personnel he's got, and that's how he's set up, which is good. As a Chelsea fan, I want to see us being flexible.
With the signings, that it has to be 4-3-3, right? So I think our only route to getting something more exciting is if James or Chilwell suddenly play as the left winger or the right winger. But I think it's sort of possible with the way they played at the weekend. It was crazy, wasn't it? They were so advanced, Chilwell especially.
Yeah, it really was. I think even with a back 4, you'd see one of them tucking in and then the other one's able to bomb forward. So it might not be quite gun-ho at the same time going forward, but you'd still get one of them going forward a lot, just depending on what side of the pitch the ball's on.
Gives me a little bit of pause for thought, because I think I was looking at sort of James to Chilwell, but
I still think James is fine.
It was literally like night and day. There was a difference between the 2 of them yesterday. Like Chilwell was just so much better. Wasn't comparable. But if the system changes, don't know how that'll look. So probably
we might get another weekend of 5 at the back. I think just because the signings won't have bedded in. You know what I mean? But I think the long term plan is 4-3-3, right? So
maybe. Unless
I think it worked so well at the weekend, I can't see why you wouldn't go with 5 at the back. You don't have enough CMs that are good, you know what I mean, to play at the moment. So I feel like 5-3-2 or 5-2-3 is what you'll go with. Yeah,
it could be possibly that
right?
If Caicedo comes in, he could just nick Gallagher's place and have him next to Enzo.
Yeah, so I think that definitely happens. But then Lavia takes another spot. You know what I mean? I think Lavia will play so good as well. So I think
maybe, I don't know. To be honest, Gallagher was probably the best player on the pitch as well at the weekend, so it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, he's worth a lot of money in terms of like the market at the moment, but I don't rate him quite as highly as you. So
he's a good fighter. He gets stuck in a lot, and he challenges for every ball. He runs his heart out, so he's got that in his locker as well, which is good. Fans always love that, don't they? So
yeah.
I'll be back.
There was one more you said. I'm trying to find who it was. Who can you remember who you said, JB?
For Fire and Ice, who did I recommend earlier? Madison? Trent. Yes. Because a lot of people...
How did he look yesterday, Trent?
To be honest, I don't mean touch the ball in the first 30 minutes. He did set up Salah's goal that was VAR'd out in the end. But apart from that, he didn't get too involved, to be honest.
He didn't look good in that setup at all with the 4 up top. I don't think that's a good setup for him because they've got the 4 attackers. Each means he sort of has to hold back a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And he did sort of move into that central role a little bit, but in a relatively deep position.
Do you think he did that setup with the 4 up top to show the need that they need another central midfielder in the market, do you think? Because they do, right? It's just evidently clear to everybody.
And McAllister was playing in that position. He'll get pushed up if they do sign someone, won't he?
Yeah, they want to play 4-3-3 with Trent coming forward, right? But the 3 can be kind of defensive, but McAllister and Szoboszlai aren't quite like that. So, they need to go a bit further forward as well. So I can't see the 4 attackers sticking long term, but they do have so many good attackers. It's they're got quite a lot of depth now there.
And Szoboszlai was on a couple of corners, I noticed. I don't know if it's at the expense of Trent, but I saw him take a couple.
Yeah, I found it hilarious. He got booked for time wasting on 60 minutes, Trent, or whatever it was. It's just that's
when you're
so
at a
early
bridge,
in the game.
you're at the bridge. You've got to do all you can to try and sneak a point, haven't you?
It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. But yeah, he's obviously very expensive. I think the fixture this weekend is what's going to be the red herring for a lot of people because it's so good, Bournemouth at home, but I'm not going to buy personally, I don't think.
Yeah, ice for me. He was ice before the season started, just because of the value. I think it's too much money. You want to be spending it in midfield and getting the premium assets. And then you've got James and Chilwell now as well. If you haven't got them at 5.5, I'd be looking their way.
Ice for me.
Ice for me.
There we go. We've ended with a consensus. That's how I dreamt of it. Yeah, so there we go. So I think we're on to the hot topic next, right?
Yeah, should we do it? Move on to the hot topic.
Yeah, and I've labelled this one Game Week 2 problems is what I've called the hot topic this week. I'm thinking...
I don't know how you do it, Josh. I don't know how you do it.
I wanted to join in the fact that there's a blank this week, Burnley against Luton. It's worth bringing up, I think.
Blank game week. We'll have that all over the video. Blank game week. We will help you.
People will have these guys second or third on their bench, the likes of Kabore, Bell, Bayer. So I think we need to just bring it up, the fact that people are going to be a little bit thinner on the ground this week than they normally would. So if they did get an injury in week 1, they're probably going to have to do a transfer, I think. So the likes of Timber, KDB, and Mings got injured this weekend as 3 examples. All look quite low owned, but if people have got the spot, I think they might have to do something with these 3. So who are we looking at to sort of replace a Timber or a Mings? Are we looking to go to the Chelsea boys if we can find the money? I think for Timber that's more possible. Or for 4.5 Mings, is there a sideways 4.5 defender that you can see, guys, that you think might be good? What would you do with Timber first of all?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get to Chilwell, then you've not got him. That seems pretty good. I wouldn't be adverse to that Spurs fullback.
Udogie.
Tough fixture this week with United, but then 3 really good weeks in a row. He looked pretty good yesterday, so that's a pretty good one. I think so. That's quite a good one for a favourite 4.5 because I think that'll still be quite under the radar for a lot of people. I think, including myself. So yeah, JB, where would you go with a Timber or a Mings? Who do you think you'd move to?
Yeah, I mean, if you got Mings, if you got 4.5, even if you got Timber, there's a couple. Again, if you got the money, I think Chilwell was the most impressive player. No need to bang the drum about that. But there was a couple of players. I think Saliba as well. Obviously, sideways move. He looks really, really good. Josh's pick. Gvardiol for Man City as well. I still think he's really kindly priced. He come on as a sub, so I reckon he should hopefully be starting now. Now I've got a couple of injuries as well knocking about, so he could be really good. Little left field, someone who really impressed me this weekend. I thought Rico Henry was really good. He always gets forward a lot, but he's 4.5. So if you are looking for that cheap sort of player, you do have him. And you got Botman again at Newcastle. A lot of people didn't start with Botman because they was a little bit put off by the fixtures, but I think for a £4.5 million player who's in the Newcastle team, he can be really good. I think he'll get more goals this year as well. Maybe one last shout for Colwill at Chelsea. He was in the team. Again, we did play a back 3 centre backs. with the two wing backs. So if we did go to a back four, one of them will drop out, but it may well be Disassi, who made his debut. But he did look quite good as well. So I'm not.
Is your top goal scorer?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he looked really good as well. Quite impressed with him, Axel. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really important, and I think like if you are doing a transfer this week, I think it's important to look a bit more long term with it, rather than like just looking for someone who's got a good fixture in game week 2. And Botman, Udogi definitely fit that bill because you want to keep them for 4 or 5 weeks at least. So, and Botman's fixtures only get good in week 5. So if you're signing him, he's there pretty much till you do a wild card. You know what I mean? Even if you do a later one. So yeah, I really like those two calls. I think the main takeaway we want to say here though is that if you can get to Chilwell, you should get to Chilwell. That would be the one. They've got Luton at home in week 3. It's just the absolute best fixture in the game, I think, or one of them. So you want to be ahead on that, and he is going to get a price rise this week, at least one, I think. So yeah, I would go for Chilwell if you can. And then the other one, De Bruyne. Now we're not really stuck for choice in midfield, are we? To be honest, there's a lot to pick from, and 2 of them haven't even played yet this evening, so that's quite exciting to see what Rashford and Bruno do tonight as well. But if you had a KDB, should we just list off some guys that people should be looking at maybe? Because I think people are going to have a lot of the ones we say already, maybe. But like, let's try and fill a gap by saying quite a few different pivots off KDB. Who would you guys go for? Would you, if you'd left the money for Salah, would you still do that, or would you go somewhere else now instead?
Still go for Salah.
Yeah, for the captaincy, yeah.
Yeah,
I think stick to the plan as well. That's what I've told a few people who've asked me so far. So yeah, stick to the plan if you got the money for Salah. If not, who are we targeting that's a bit cheaper than De Bruyne, for example? So we're looking at anything like 10 million and below, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with Salah as well. But if you do want someone cheap, I thought Luis Diaz looked really lively as well in the game. So, and again, great fixtures, same fixture. 7.5 looks really, really good. I think Maddison's probably top of the pile. I'd still go for Maddison, even though he's got Manchester United this week. I think long term, Maddison's going to get you lots of points. Yeah, DRB looked good for Villa.
I think and Boomer would be my top pick.
Yeah,
like, he looked so good yesterday in terms of like he missed an absolute sitter.
And they look good without Tony as well, didn't they? Like him and Wissa look like they can hold it down for Brentford. And Brentford look a good team all round. I think they're so well managed. Yeah, I like that one.
They didn't skip a beat.
Do you think it was a penalty?
No.
It was very soft, wasn't it? JB, you used the word soft, I think. Yeah, I think it was very soft.
Yeah, never a pen.
Once it's not given on the pitch, it's like it should never be given.
Yeah. That's the exact point. It should never, ever be given if it's not given by the referee. If it's given by the ref, I think you stick with your decision. But even then, it's a bit dodgy, I think. But if it's not given on the pitch, don't change it for the sake of just like making a headline at the weekend. It's crazy. It was never a penalty. And obviously, he gets it the first week Tony's out. He just gets a penalty and he scores a penalty. But I think he got about a fair return for what he deserved, to be honest. He deserved at least a goal. So, yeah. Fair play to Mbumo.
Any other midfielders you was looking at, Josh?
You're gonna think I'm stupid saying this, but yeah. I'm doing a bit of Mystic Meg. I think Rashford and Bruno are still the two to go for. Tottenham looked abysmal defensively yesterday, I thought, and they're going to just attack, I think. They're going to be quite attacking. Not to say Brentford didn't box them in at times yesterday, by the way, but I just feel like they don't have the personnel to deal with a team who just attacks them. And I think if United come at them, Rashford and Bruno could have a really good week next week, as well as against Wolves tonight. So
they're really bad defensively, Spurs. Really bad. Like, their team's just not good. Like, from the midfield backwards, like, they're playing a lot of skip every week. Like, they've got problems.
That's why I wanted to say the United guys, because they've got Tottenham next week who looked abysmal. So, like, I think that's the two I'd still go to. I think I'd go for the one you don't have, because I think most people will have at least one of those. So, JB, I'm looking at you.
Martinelli.
Yeah. Martinelli, you liked him, Doyle, as well, yeah?
Yeah, amazing assist, obviously. Like, it was just class, right?
Yeah.
Did he mean that?
Oh, yeah, definitely meant it. So,
I don't know. I felt like when he done it, he come off his back heel. I don't know.
No, he did a little pirouette. It was gorgeous.
He always gets subbed off. Is my issue with Martinelli. Like, there's no chance he plays 90 minutes ever. But he does look the most attacking player from Arsenal when he's on the pitch. So
yeah,
you take it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll give one last little shout out in midfield. Tonali looked really good for Newcastle, just because he's really cheap as well. He's only 5.5. Just if you, maybe not this week, but if you do want to save some money by downgrading someone because you want to upgrade to get someone, he looked really good. So did Barnes, but again, minutes is a bit of a worry with Barnes. I'll tell you an unsexy pick now. Mitoma, 6.5 million. You have him in your team the whole year. He's just going to deliver and deliver, I think.
Yeah, it's great picks, but yeah.
For the price, it's unbelievable.
Great.
People will be looking at 7.5 million midfielders a lot this year, but for 6.5, he's a no-brainer.
The 6.5s are all great. Eze looks really good, to be fair. Like I said, I don't trust that Crystal Palace attack to score goals, so I wouldn't go there myself, but he absolutely ran the show for them. So
You said Palace were the worst team in the league half an hour ago. No, you've got Eze. You've got two of them in your team already. I think you're a Palace fan. I think
Eze's coming in. The triple up's on.
I just said I wouldn't go in because they've got the crap. Everyone else is crap in the team. That's the problem.
That is completely true, by the way. The rest of the attackers are terrible and they never know which one to play each week. Once Elise comes back, Slash goes to Chelsea. He could be really good. He could really bolster the attack, I think. But he's out for a little while, I think. But yeah, I think we're on to some good things here. Mitoma's going to be
boys. 3 point something XG for the game, so we must be on to something good. I think the goals are in the future for Mopé. They're coming.
I think I'd rather have someone else in the middle than Mopé, and then the XG would mean something. You know what I mean? It's like it would mean a lot more with a proper striker in there. I think
Iwobi was so good as well. But yeah, he just can't score goals. So there you go.
I was going to say, I think Mitoma's going to be the next guy that Brighton sell for over 100 million. Literally, he's absolutely unbelievable. I don't know what his age is, so whether that means he would fall for like 50 million or something. But yeah, he is absolutely unbelievable, and he's absolutely nailed for them on the left hand side.
26.
Yeah, probably a 50, 60 millioner then, rather than a 100
more than that.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable. But I was looking at, who was I looking at? Someone's like 20. Oh, Ward-Prowse. He's 28, right? And he went for 30 mil. I just don't understand. I just don't get how the pricing works anymore. But Casado's just like 4 times that. I just think that's a lot for a very, very young player. But yeah, I think it's a lot.
It is.
Well, I was saying this. I was watching Spurs at the weekend. Basuma was the last Caicedo, wasn't he? He was the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These Brighton players leave Brighton suddenly. They've got they're not so good anymore. We'll see.
Yeah, Brighton must be the best money making business in the UK at the moment. Like, as in, like, just sign them for about 5 mil, 3 mil, whatever you want. Sometimes they come from the academy. Sell them for 50, 100, whatever you want. Just lob a number on it now, and then they just fill up their squad with James Milner and Welbeck, and just get them for free. It's just great. They must have made hundreds of millions. Phenomenal. Anyway, shall we go on to our teams then?
Let's do it. We're probably at the hour mark just about now, but we've
nowhere near. Well,
if we can get through it in 10 minutes, you never know.
We got 20 minutes, I think, or we've got at least 10.
10, 15.
I'm the timekeeper today, and that's why I don't know what the time is. But
you've got a bit of the ref about you. I can see.
Any preference on the order for all your magical graphics, JB, or are you fine? Are you flexible?
Gameweek preview. Let's go.
Yeah. Whoever you want. So shall I go first?
Go for it.
Right.
Let's see.
Doyle's going to hate it, as he's already alluded to, but I'm benching Saliba this week, and I'm starting Chilwell and James. And Estupiñán, who's got a very good fixture next week. And then the rest of it's completely the same as this week. I'm rolling the transfer, as I said. Playing Turner over Pickford because Villa are really good attacking, I think. So I'm going to take the one time I'll play Turner at home to Sheffield United. And then I'm going to play Estupiñán over Saliba. I think those are my 2 key decisions this week. And I've got 4 players in the Man United-Tottenham game, and they're all midfielders, which is going to be either very good or very bad. I'm hoping it's like a 4-4 or something. But yeah, we'll see.
It's on TV. You get to watch it.
Yeah. I'm excited for that one. It's the sort of thing you dream of. You get the spotlight once a season where you have 4 players in the same game who are all like attacking rather than like defender against attacker. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to have Maddison, Richarlison, Rashford, and Bruno, and I'm going to watch them assist each other, score each other. They're just going to do everything. So yeah, it's going to
Score each other.
it's going to be absolutely electric. Yeah, it's going to be.
You got so excited. Can't even speak.
As soon as I saw it, like when I was setting my bus team on Saturday or Friday, probably Friday, I was that excited. I saw the 4 guys playing against each other. I was like, and both defenses are crap as well. It could literally be 4-4. It's going to be amazing.
Q 0-0.
Yeah, Q the 0-0. At least I'll get 3 from each of them. They get a clean sheet point each. So there you go.
Yeah, it don't look a bad team. I think it sticks out that you got Saliba on the bench, but yeah, I think I'd do that as well, to be honest. You can't bench the Chelsea boys because of the attacking returns and then the stupid man.
He's got the least attacking threat, hasn't he? And they're all good fixtures, I think. I think West Ham are still pretty turgid. Estupinan's playing Wolves, who we think are going to be crap. We haven't seen the game tonight yet because we're recording on Monday night. But yeah, I'm going with the attacking with the potential of defensive. I would have never played Bulldog this week, even though I think he's injured as it happens. But I would have never played him anyway. Last on.
Shall we move on to Doyle?
Absolutely.
Big masterpiece.
He said he's got a transfer lined up, apparently.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it now because we had all that chat about Chilwell. So I was going to do James Chilwell. I thought he was injured, which he's not. But I was considering doing it anyway, to be fair, even if he's not, just because Chilwell was so much better yesterday. But that talk about what they're going to do formation-wise does worry me a little bit. In terms of making a move now, and Chilwell is projected to rise tonight, so I'll probably miss it if I don't do it now. So I think I'll miss that. I mean, I could still make a transfer though. Foden is a position that could change if there's any sort of leak whatsoever. It's probably unlikely given the game's 8 o'clock the night after the deadline, but you can hope. So probably no moves. Gonna captain Mo Salah at Bournemouth. And otherwise, I think the team's exactly the same week on week. I don't think I'm making any changes. So I would have started Turner if I had him, but I didn't put him in the team. So screwed that one up. Well done, mate.
And just future plans, you've got Foden. Is there any part of you that would potentially downgrade him to Richarlison to get some more funds, maybe? Or
should take it week by week. I made a stupid decision to start him, and now I've got to just.
Yeah, that'd be such a luxury transfer. So it's all about rolling a transfer this week for sure.
I think this week, yeah, because I think if he played well, he got 90. Like, if he's in that starting lineup next week, plays well, he's got a really good run after that. So,
or even like you said earlier, you can put Mbumo in, maybe save $1 million, then use that extra $1 million when you've rolled your transfer to upgrade someone. You could maybe get Chilwell.
Yeah, could be a Chilwell. Yeah, potentially something like that. Could be the way.
This is my thinking with mine, by the way. I think I need to be in a spot where I usually have 2 transfers every single week because I've got Chilwell and James. They're sort of like walking disasters waiting to happen. You know what I mean? I think I'm playing the upside right now, but like I think I should always try and have 2 transfers when I can with them, like even more so than usual, just because I think they're going to be an auto transfer one week when one of them gets injured, which we think will happen based on historic data. So yeah. I'm glad I've got them for week 3 already in place, but I am going to try and keep rolling while I can and always have 2 so I can get rid of one of them as soon as it happens.
Makes sense. I guess we'll roll into JB's team with this question about captaincy. So JB, what are you doing with your captain this week? You're on mute.
Sorry, that was me coughing again. Captaincy is probably, there's 2 decisions I made this week. It's pretty similar really, because Botman's my next play in sort of my 12th man, if you will, but he's away at Man City, so it's easy for me to bench him. The only other decision was Turner in goal over Pickford. I don't think Sheffield United's output's going to be very good going forward anyway, so it could be good, and plus it's on Friday night on TV as well, so it's always good to have someone in the first game of the weekend.
Yeah, pretty obvious one, that I think.
He's a good goalie as well, Turner is. Like he might well get some saves even if they do threaten.
It's one way to get excited for Nottingham Forest v Sheffield United anyway on Friday night when the game week starts.
Do you reckon we'll get a team leak? It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, is Awoniyi playing or not? But yeah, the other main decision is the captaincy, Salah or Haaland. It's really tough because you don't want to be punished by Haaland. I'm not even thinking effective ownership as such. It's just I feel so confident that Haaland's just going to deliver every single game. You never know. I might swing it to Salah, but I'll probably end up going Haaland, I think.
Oh, we are going to go over an hour here. Fucking hell.
I really don't think it's close.
What?
I really don't think it's close between the two.
How can you pick him in game week 1 and then not captain him in game week 2? That's the whole point of it.
No,
I don't
I'll
understand.
do premiums going forward, just because I think where I've got save some money elsewhere, I think I can afford to have both of them. But yeah, it's Haaland. He scored after 3 minutes last week. You know,
He's quality. He's absolutely. This is why I decided to go without Salah, so I can just cap him every week.
I don't think Bournemouth are as bad this season either. I mean, last year when they had Scott Parker and they was getting beat 7-0 in this fixture, I think they're a better team now. I mean, jury's out on the new manager, but we'll see. I think they've got some good players.
You must have turned off on 70 minutes. They scored another 2 after you turned off.
All right, I take it back. Nearly 10-0, but yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, they didn't. They're not playing the best player though. I don't know what's going on really. My boy Dango didn't start. I don't know what's going on. Dango Ouattara, the best winger in the league, didn't even start him. So
You didn't pick him on here, did you? I was quite surprised. There's too many midfielders, isn't there?
yeah, you can't have a 5 million midfielder in this. Like it's just too much money. Like it's so hard. So I actually ended up with
You've got Salah as well. You've actually got Salah as well. Like it's like, I mean, I just literally spent. I just went for none of the 6.5 mids because I had too much money. So I just had no Salah and just went for all the more expensive ones in midfield. But yeah, and didn't have to have.
That's why I think you can go for Haaland and Salah because those 6.5 mids are so good. And I think they're pretty close to the 8 million mids. To be honest, I don't think there's much difference in points output. So that's why I felt quite comfortable going the 2 premiums. And that's why I ended up with Haaland because, like I say, I didn't think the 6.5s were any worse than the 8. So it felt stupid just getting the 8s for the sake of it and then not getting Haaland.
Have we covered everything?
Yeah, you boys' sacrifice is just João Pedro, isn't it? Really? Oh, you haven't even got him, JB. You went 4 at the back. Sorry, yeah. So you went 4 at the back. That was your one sacrifice, and JB went for Doyle went for Pedro. And other than that, you've got like perfectly normal teams where you've spent the money. You know what I mean? So it's like it is amazing what you can have still with Salah and Haaland. It's quite interesting because I didn't really consider it, but like your teams do look really good.
Beginning of the season, you know, everyone starts fit, so it's not like you've got fires to put out everywhere. So if you are going to do it, it's an okay time to do it. Obviously got two non-playing players on the bench, but that's what transfers are for, right?
Yeah, what's the plan if you do need to get a second striker? Is Salah the bank or?
I'll just take it how it comes. I think, you know, I could always downgrade someone for $1 million and then upgrade and get João Pedro potentially or someone like that. So we'll see.
Not bad. Not after next week, mate. When his price rose 4 times, if he scores a hat trick at the weekend.
Evan Ferguson will be in there soon enough, anyways. Get a price drop. Danny Welbeck will be on fire.
Pedro will be dropped by week 3. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, probably he'd be about 5.3 million, wouldn't he?
He got his penalty where he miscontrolled the ball on Saturday. So, you know, well done to João and all of his owners as well, because I think you made a great choice. Well done.
Right, shall we finish this up? And it'll be under an hour. And I've also just noticed that I haven't designed my kit on FPL as well. That's an absolute crime.
Quick, end the podcast.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm off to do that. But, Josh, do you want to send us out in your usual manner?
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube this week, so please follow us on YouTube. All in FPL is the name of the channel. The same can be said on X. It's called All in FPL on Twitter/X. Please follow us there, and we'll always reply if you do any messages. We might actually put some beer bets out on social this week. I think that's a good idea. We'll tweet them out. Yeah, we'll do a little quick beer bet, 1 each. See who wins. It's easier to track then as well for the recording of the season-long beer bet table as well, which is more important than the FPL table. But yeah, follow us on there. We'll tweet out stuff. I'll probably get excited about James Ward-Prowse this week because he's just signed for West Ham, which is amazing. So yeah, please follow us all there, and we'll see if we can get the podcast side of it sorted at some point as well, because I know some of you like to not watch us on the screen. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
No.
See you later.